Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and I am in need of some chicken stock, and I thought I would take you along and show you how easy it is to make chicken stock. So we've got our vegetables here. I've got some carrots, some celery, some onions. I've got a big stock pot because we're going to make 16 cups of stock. That's what we're going to start with. So let's get started making our chicken stock. So we'll start prepping our vegetables. I've got 3 carrots here, fairly good sized ones, and I've taken the outside skin off of them and I've given those a good little wash, and I'm going to kind of cut these up. You don't have to get really intricate with them. I just want to be able to make sure that all the nutrients and everything in these get cooked out of them. So if they're cut in half and maybe quarters, they seem like they cook a little bit better and you get more of that flavor out of those vegetables. So I'm going to cut all my carrots up and we'll cut those into little quarter pieces just like that. And we'll go ahead and start putting those into our pot. All right, I've got all of my carrots cut up now. Now let's work on my celery. I've got 4 stalks of celery here, and I'm just going to cut the ends off of those. And the same thing with that, just kind of give them a rough chop and cut them in half. That way all those nutrients will get cooked out of that, and we'll throw those into the pot. All right, I've got all of my celery cut up now, and I've got about a medium-sized onion. I'm going to give that just a rough chop. I'm going to take the outer skin off of it and the root. And with the outer skin off of it, I'm just going to give that a chop, and we're just going to cut that up just a little bit. That way it kind of gets a little bit of that cooking as well all the way through. Just rough chop it, and we'll throw that in just like that. And I normally use about 5 of the garlic cloves that are about this size, but I had some smaller ones in there. So just to kind of make up for it, I believe I've got maybe about 6 or 7 total to kind of give me 5. But if you like garlic in there, there's no harm in putting more if you like more of it. I'm just going to take that outer skin off of it and kind of break that to release some of those oils, so that will cook very nicely. And I'll take the skin off all of those. And with all the outer skin moved from my garlic now, I'm just going to kind of give that some big rough piece chops. That way it kind of releases a little bit more of that oil that we want into our stock. So we'll just pick that up and throw that in. All right, I've got my garlic cut up now, and I did go ahead and put 2 cups of my water in there because I was heating my pot up here. But now we've got our chicken. I've got a 4.5 pound chicken, and I'm just going to take that whole just like that and throw that in there just like that. I'm going to take this to the sink and wash my hands. I'll be right back. All right, now that I've got that chicken in there and I've got everything clean, we want to be really careful when you're messing with chicken. Don't want to get that all over your kitchen. So I've got 2 cups in there. I'm going to go ahead and add another 14 to bring my total to 16 cups of water. All right, I've got my 16 cups of water now, and I've got a few more spices that I'm going to put in there. I cut some thyme off of my thyme plant that I got over here on the counter. So I've just got a little bit of thyme. You can put some of that in there if you like. I've got a couple of bay leaves here. We're going to throw the bay leaves in there. And lastly, I got about 20 peppercorns, and we'll put those in just like that. Now, I'm not going to put any salt in this. You can definitely add salt if you want to. I try to control the salt when I'm making whatever I'm going to be making, because if I put too much in here and then you put seasoning into whatever you're making, you could get too much in there. So I control the salt in the mixture, whatever I'm making, so I do not put any salt in here, but that is up to you. If you want to add salt, definitely add some salt to this, whatever you like. And with this, the way you make stock is you put the chicken in cold into cold water. And that's how I make my stock. Now, if you were cooking the chicken and you wanted to seal in the flavors inside the chicken, then you would bring the water to a boil, put the chicken in then, and that would kind of seal everything in. And that way you get all those juices and things left inside of your chicken when it cooks. So with stock, I put chicken into cold water, bring it up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, I put the lid on it, reduce it down to about a medium low, and I cook it until the chicken is almost falling apart. So we'll see how long that is, and we'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do with the stock once we're done. I am back, and my chicken is cooked through and my stock is done. I have let it cool down. It did cook for about an hour and 20 minutes. And what I did with that is I turned it down really low, put the lid on it, and just let it stew away. So definitely you can see here that we've got a nice chicken, and I tested it and it was about ready to fall apart. So I've got this big scoop that I've got here, and I'm going to drain off the stock out of that, and I'm going to put this in this bowl, and then I will pick the meat off of that and use that in another recipe. We can see that the chicken leg there is just about to come apart on its own. So that's what you want to do. You want to cook it till it basically just falls apart. and we'll stick that to the side, and I'll use that in another recipe. I'll pull that meat off that bone, and that won't go to waste. But now what we're going to do is I've got my pot here, and I don't know if you've seen my other video with this, how this works. This is a solid bowl here in the bottom, and then it's got another colander in the middle of it with holes in it, and then I've got another one in the top here, and I'm going to double strain this. And so I'm going to take this off right here, and all of the vegetables have done what they are going to do now. So at this point we're just going to discard the vegetables, and we'll be left with that wonderful stock. I've got just a little bit in there, but this is going to fill this up pretty good, and I don't want to overflow this. Take that and set that right there, and I'm going to transfer that to this container here, and I'll be able to put a lid on this and use this for my recipe that called for the chicken stock. All right, and I'll finish draining this off. That's what's left of our vegetables. They've done what they're going to do. You can discard these now. They won't be used for anything else. And then we'll take the last bit of our stock and put that into my container here, and that's going to get me right back up to almost where we started with our 16 cups. So I'll turn that around, and you can see I've got my 4 quarts there. I'm going to put my lid on this, and I'll use this. What I don't use, I can definitely put these in a little baggies. I've got a quart-sized bag that I can put this in, and you want to double bag it, and that way if the bag itself has a leak in it, it's got the outer bag on it. And then if you want to, you can stack them into a container like this, and go ahead and seal up what you're not going to use, and then you can freeze them. And once the liquid inside is frozen, then you can take your bags out, leave them in the freezer, and that way you won't have a mess in the freezer if the bag burst open before it got frozen. So definitely put your liquids in, double bag them, put them into a container that you can set them in the freezer till it solidifies, and you take the bags out, leave your stock in the freezer. When you get ready to use it, you need a quart, pull it out. You've got it already bagged up, put it in the refrigerator to thaw it, and you've got it. So I'm going to be using some of this. I won't be using all of it, but definitely this is an easy way to make chicken stock. You've still got the meat on the chicken that you can use for something else. And the one thing I like about making it at home is you can control what goes in it. You can control the sodium level. You've got all kind of control over what goes in it. So every stock that you make or every stock that you get in the store is going to taste just a little bit different. Every manufacturer that you buy in the store is going to have a little bit of a different recipe. Different vegetables will be used. You know what you like. Use what you've got in the refrigerator. Use up some of those veggies that are going bad that you might need to get rid of, and before throwing them away, grab your chicken out of the refrigerator, put them all in your stock pot, cook your chicken and get all those flavor out of it into your stock. Make you some stock at home. I hope you like this content, and if you do, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And check out one of these other 2 videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Let me know in the comment section if you make this chicken stock, what you think about it and how yours turned out. I'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye now.